everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Chick to Chick. I'm Flora Pastorero.
And I am Carrie Perry.
And spring is in the air, and that means it's time to start clearing away the clutter. Start going through closets and doing that spring cleaning. Do you like to spring clean?
I do love to spring clean. I like to get the windows open.
Yeah.
And I love to just go through stuff. It's time to get it out, move on. It's like cleansing process. You know what I'm saying?
It's like kicking an old boyfriend to the curb. Get out.
Beat it.
Get out. Get out. I do
What's
too.
that? To the left? That's Beyonce?
Yeah.
She was talking about spring cleaning, I think.
Was she?
Probably.
So I am a minimalist. I'm a minimalist, and I think that I was so traumatized as a child. I seriously. So my mother had stuff everywhere, and it's not that it was chaos or that she was a hoarder. She just had like knickknacks all over
tchotchkes?
Everything. Knickknacks, tchotchkes, whatever.
Whatever.
It was all over the place. Every Thursday, we had to clean.
Oh, you had to lift them all up and dust around
Every Thursday, oh my God. I had to move the stuff and dust, and I said to myself, when I grow up, I'm not going to have anything in my house, because it drove me crazy that I had to move all of that stuff. So I am a minimalist, and I don't have a lot of stuff to begin with because it makes me crazy.
Yeah. I try very hard not to have clutter around, but I have more kids, at least.
Yeah,
well,
you have an issue. It's called 3 girls.
3 girls.
Yeah.
Well, now with 2 of them in college, I have less of an issue. So it's not as bad, but I find that I even neglect, I'll get their stuff uncluttered, the main places in the house uncluttered, but then I open up, a cabinet in my bathroom, and I'm like, for crying out loud, I can't get into it. I don't know what's there. So those are the things I always have to go back to.
Well, what I like to do, even though I don't have a lot of stuff, twice a year, and I actually mark it on the calendar.
Good
I
girl.
like to go through every closet, every drawer, everything, and I say to myself, okay, I haven't used this in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it in the next 6 months. Bye-bye, you're gone, and I get rid of stuff.
I do that with clothing. I feel good about it when I get rid of the clothing.
It is. It's like you're getting rid of the toxins in your body.
Yeah.
Like you're cleansing yourself, and you just feel lighter.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it's all good.
like it.
Which brings us to our guest today. We're so glad she's here with us, Laura Souders. She owns Healthier Spaces Organizing. She also wrote a book called Organizing Her Life, and we are calling today's podcast Get It Together, Girl.
Or guy.
Get it together.
Get it together.
Hey, Laura, how are you?
Good. How are you, Flora?
Great. We're so glad you're here. Laura, is this a good time of year to try to organize your life and try to organize your house? And what is the significance of doing that in the spring?
I think everybody is over the winter and ready for the nice weather to come, but it's kind of at this time of the year, you have the rain, you have the variable temperatures, so you can't really be out in the yard or doing anything much outside for a long period of time. So I think this is one of the best times to get things organized in your home.
So my question would be this. You've been inside, a lot of the ugly part of, the winter into early spring, and now it's like a daunting task. What tips do you have that it doesn't seem so difficult to tackle,
Well, I think just having gone through winter is a great time to tackle your clothes, your winter clothes. You can look at them now, analyze them objectively. Did you wear some of them? If you didn't wear them the whole season, you probably aren't going to wear them next year. So this is a great time to go through the winter stuff before you start getting into the summer.
And before you start bringing out your spring clothes, I have a rule of thumb. And again, I'm nuts. I get it. But if I buy a dress has to go. If I buy a coat has to go. So I don't get to that point where I have 20 coats shoved in the closet and I can't get anything. That's just the way I am. That's the life of a minimalist.
Yeah, that
something
wasn't
comes
me.
in, something goes out.
I go, there's another pretty dress. Oh, look at that coat next to the other one I love so much. If that coat has to be looking at me going, would you please take me out of the closet?
You can only wear one coat at a time. How many coats do you need?
There are occasions for coats, Flora.
Oh, for God's sake.
There are occasions for coats.
Oh, my.
Okay, so we digress because we could just run this down a rabbit hole. But I love that idea because the clothing aspect doesn't sound too difficult. And I gather you can do that with your kids too, because they're right in that space of like, here's your laundry. Instead of putting it away, why don't you see what doesn't really work anymore, right?
Right, exactly. And teaching kids how to do that, I do that with my kids seasonally. Now I have my youngest is going in high school, so I don't really have to do it with them as much. But every season, they usually outgrew the clothes that they already had in their drawers from the last season. So we go through them and see, what they not only don't fit into anymore, but what they really don't want to wear. Because I had two boys, so we passed clothes down, and the superhero stuff that one was in, the other one really didn't want to wear. So I gave them the choice of, what are you going to wear? What do you like? And kind of help them to do the process themselves too.
I like that. Okay, so we're going to start with the winter clothes to just clear that out before you bring the spring stuff up. Okay, Laura, now we've got the rest of the house.
Where to begin?
Where do you go with that? Help, Laura, help.
Yeah.
I go with whatever's easiest for you. I think the kitchen and the pantry, those kind of things are kind of easy because there aren't very many sentimental things in the kitchen or the pantry. The same kind of eye you take to analyze your closets and talk about if you really wore it, being honest with yourself if you really wore it or if you'll wear it on another occasion. I think you do that with the stuff in your kitchen. If you have some chopper you've had for 20 years, in your cupboard and it's sitting there thinking, I could use it sometime. Instead of thinking of it like that, think, am I going to use it? Do I really want to? If I haven't used it in 20 years, I'm probably not going to use it at all. So kind of going through those things in your pantry, even the food, and saying, okay, we bought this in bulk. We really don't like it because it's been sitting here. Either donate it if it's not past the date or, decide to use it.
Okay, so we've started there.
Yeah.
Now what?
Okay, my biggest one is my bathroom closet and under the sink, because I used to be the person that had a lot of different products. Working in television, you try different stuff for your face. You've got different hairsprays. You got all these different
exfoliators,
the nail polish alone could take
makeup.
Right. So those are, I've gotten a lot better, but I know I'm not the only one that has that ridiculous, cosmetic store somewhere buried in their bathroom. So now what do we do? What happens there?
Yeah, I think with cosmetics and hair supplies, a lot of that will actually go bad. They some of the shelf life they say for cosmetics, it's less than a year. It's a lot of times 6 months.
Oh, yikes.
So looking at that and saying, if I haven't used this in the last 6 months, what's going to make me want to use it after this? Because it might not actually be good for my skin or good for my face or hair. And I haven't wanted to use it so far. So instead of looking at it as I spent money on this, I should keep it, I should probably use it. If you don't think you're going to, you're also spending money on your storage space. That item is taking up space in a cupboard that you have. So you're not being able to see other things. So you don't gain any money from keeping that item in there forever if you haven't used it, but you can gain storage space to see your other things that you actually want. So kind of thinking in there of how much space this is taking up. And for the things that you do want, it's a different mindset to kind of help you get rid of those things.
Laura, I think that what we're seeing a lot of, older couples, so to speak, who are in big houses and now they're downsizing and they have 50 years worth of stuff. Yeah. In their house, all over the place. And I can speak on a personal level with my parents. They'd been in their home for 50 years. And I was just like, oh my God. And my advice to my mother was just take one room at a time.
Yeah.
Just take one room at a time and just have a goal that maybe you're going to take 1 week to get through that room. I mean, my mother was so bad. She saved my brother's homework from second grade. I'm like, what are you doing?
The only one
with
benefiting from that is if your brother had a second grader who could look at his grades.
No, she said, well, maybe your brother wants it. Really? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, is that good advice when you're looking at a couple who wants to downsize and go into a smaller place and they've got 50 years worth of stuff in their house? Is that the best thing to do to try to take one room at a time?
Yeah, what I encourage them to do, I work with a lot of people who are downsizing. I encourage them to just get started. They often say that they're sentimental about their things and it's very hard for them to get rid of things. But when they actually start, they don't find it's that bad. Exactly what you were saying is most older seniors who are downsizing start saying, well, maybe my granddaughter would like this, maybe my son or daughter would like this, and
No.
it makes them start keeping too much.
Yes.
And the reality is usually nobody wants it.
Nope.
And it's hard for them to decide to understand that and to decide to donate something. It actually takes them a while to emotionally kind of
Detach.
process that.
I agree.
So when I'm working with people that are downsizing, they'll kind of use that as an example to keep something. Like, well, this person might want it or that person might want it. And I'll say, let's take a picture quick and send it to them and find out if they want it.
I
And
can just imagine. Yeah.
percent of the time they don't.
No,
and then we
but
start
thanks
the
for
process
asking.
of, yeah. I actually tell them too, they want to see somebody in their family get it that can use it. And I tell them, you may not know who's going to get it, but I'm sure it will be able to be used if you donate it. Someone who will get it who needs it. You just may not know that person.
Let me ask you something that I actually do, and maybe, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I like to put my things in compartments, baskets, or some sort of a nice bin to keep it real organized. Also keeps me a little more in check as to the amount of stuff that I'm getting if I allot just a certain amount of space. I mean, am I moving in the right direction? Did I get it together?
Yeah.
Get it together,
Did
girl.
I get it together there?
As long as the baskets are being used to help you to maintain the space and not just store stuff.
Okay.
So sometimes people will put things in a basket or a bin to say, okay, now I can stack that on top of something else. So determining whether it's actually helping with organization and for you to be efficient and functional in the space, or is it actually just trying to keep things there? So that's the difference depending on how you're using the organizational thing. So if it has a lid on it and you're using it to stack other things and just maximize the space, then it's probably not good to keep that. But if it's just using to kind of make the space a limit, that's great. If you give yourself, like you're both talking about, kind of getting rid of one dress when another one comes, that helps you to maintain the space, saying, this is my limit. If I get over this, I have to get rid of some of it.
Yeah, we're getting rid of stuff to make space, and we're getting rid of things to just sort of clear away the clutter. Emotionally and mentally, Laura, how does that affect you? I know I can't think when there's chaos. I know when I walk in the house, and if my son throws things on the floor, or he throws things on the kitchen table, or he throws things all over the place, I can't think. Like, my brain gets scattered. From a mental aspect, how does it affect you as a human being when you're able to clear away the clutter?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Flora. The clutter actually diverts your attention. It makes your mind keep thinking of it. I imagine it like your cell phone kind of dinging every so often.
Oh my gosh, it makes me crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Even if you don't answer that cell phone, it's still diverted your attention for a second. And that's what clutter does. You know it's there. You know you have to deal with it, and it's constantly pulling at you. And most people say, oh, it doesn't bother me. I just close that room, or I don't think about that. They don't realize until they get rid of the clutter and that situation how much it really was weighing on them. And when you have a lot of clutter, not only is it diverting your attention, it saps your energy and your creativity. So having that free space when you clear the clutter really opens up to what you can do, what you want to do. You can spend more time focusing on those things that are important to you.
I have a friend who's constantly, I'm cleaning my house. I'm cleaning my house. And I'm like, what are you cleaning? I don't have anything. I don't have that. Because once you get rid of it, there's really not that much. Yeah. Get it together, girl. That's all I want to say to her. Get it together.
Well, it's an energy zapper. I can't, like you just said, I can't focus. And I am not a nice mom and a nice wife when there's stuff everywhere, because now I'm a nag, I'm
Remind me not to call you on those days.
No, call. Just listen in and kick your feet up, because you don't have anybody, because until Sean comes back home.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I mean, those are great points. And I think some of us just need a kick start to do it, because it just looks really daunting. So I love her ideas of just like, my mother always says this, you can always eat an elephant one bite at a time. I don't know the last time my mom ordered an elephant, but nonetheless, it's a good point.
It is. It's
a big thing. And
it's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So, Laura, the reality is, too, when you start getting rid of this stuff, my son will take his clothes and sell them.
Oh yeah, there's a definite
So
bonus to
you
that.
can make some real cash by clearing out some of this stuff. What do you say to clients when you work with them as you're clearing stuff away? Do you create piles for them? How does that work?
I do help them depending on selling is a lot of work. If you're selling on eBay, it's great for someone like your son. The younger generation is so
yes.
quick with that, and they can really make some money. And their clothes haven't been around as long. So their clothes are still in style and they know who wants them. They know their way around the internet. So they can really make some money. If your clothes, usually the rule is if it's less than 4 years old and still in good condition, then you can consign them, which is a great idea too. But older than that, unless they're really high-end clothing, it's usually better to donate them.
Or just wait, and then you can wear them again 20 years later when you go to some crazy birthday party.
They always come back in style.
Or your kid's going to go, hey, do you have something from the 80s? By goodness, I do. Let me go get it. And it's vintage and authentic like mom jeans.
Yeah, and
Do you know what I'm saying?
I still have my mom jeans.
I know. You even have your son jeans.
Carrie, you weren't
You can
supposed
put them
to
in
talk
the
about that. You're not
Sorry,
supposed to
when
talk
we
about
said we were going to be open and honest,
Well,
there you go.
Okay, so I'm going to go there. I really am going to go there. My son
It's part
went
of the
through.
whole practicality. I'm telling
It's
you.
funny. I'm okay. All right, transparency. My son cleared out his closet and he pulled out these jeans and he says, Mom, they don't fit. They're too short. I'm not wearing them anymore. And he said, I want to get rid of them. And I looked at him and went,
No, you're not.
No, you're not. And I tried them on and they were his jeans from 8th grade and they fit.
She told me this, and I was like, they look great. Are you kidding me? So the moral of the story is,
I'm like, those are Sean's jeans.
but it worked. It worked. He was editing his closet. Did you throw a pair of jeans?
Yeah.
Did you get rid of a pair of jeans? Did you put another pair in?
I didn't have an extra pair of jeans,
well,
so
then
they
that was
came
a
in
win-win.
handy. I mean, I'm like,
Perfect.
wait, they fit. What do I care? I don't care.
By the way, I'm going to get next with the bus. I got the bus next. I just put her under the bus this time.
That's a
true
that
story,
was
Laura.
fun. It's a true story.
Yeah.
And I guess, Laura, at the end of the day, if somebody just can't do it, they just can't go
rid of it.
there. You can help them get it together, can't you, Laura?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I help people to take an overwhelming task and understand how to break it down and teach them what they need to do going forward. So it isn't like they have to have a professional organizer every time they start organizing. They don't need to call me. I teach them the skills and the steps to evaluate their space, to purge, to organize, and to help maintain it. So then they know how to set up systems, and it's easy.
All right. Yeah. Laura, thank you so much for joining us today and having fun with us. And you went there with my son's jeans. You went there.
I went there. Laura, thank you for allowing me the vehicle to take her there. I appreciate it.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you so much, Carrie and Flora.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
So this is a good time of year. Just clear it away. Get rid of it.
You're going to feel good about it. If you want to bring new stuff in, that's great. But I think you should just realize what you have, what's already there, enjoy that space, and don't feel like you have to put something in it. I'm starting to learn that lesson.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm more about spending money on experiences than stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, stuff doesn't do it for me.
Then I got to take care of the stuff.
You got to take care of.
Then I got to get it together.
Unless you can fit into your son's jeans from 8th grade. Then
you got the 8th grade stuff.
You didn't know they were his jeans, did you?
Yes, you told me.
But I'm saying, if I hadn't told you,
absolutely not. I would have no idea.
You would have had no
you
clue.
look great in them. I don't know what that says. But if you want to ask us, you can email us, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
At chick2chick@penwatch.org, because that's one way we can, hear from you, because we're interested in what you have to say. So whether it's this podcast or another one, we want to hear from you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We've had a lot of fun today.
A good one, yeah.
And we will be back soon to chirp about another topic.